Buongiorno tutti quanti. Oggi si discute un tema abbastanza semplice, vale a dire alcune parole simili a parole in inglese. Ci sono molte parole italiane che assomigliano alle parole equivalenti in inglese, quindi la lezione oggi tratta di queste parole. Di più, vi presento degli schemi per riconoscere parole imparentate eppure per indovinare una parola italiana dall'inglese. Per cominciare, per favore aprite il libro a pagina 19. In English, the word for parola simile or parola imparentata is cognate. Literally, cognates are words that have common origins linguistically. The way this word is usually used, though, is to refer to words that are spelled and pronounced similarly and have similar or identical meanings. Italian is a Romance language, meaning it evolved from Latin. Since a lot of English words also have a Latin origin, there are a lot of cognates between these two languages. You can often recognize cognates by suffixes. Italian and English have different but analogous suffixes, some of which are listed in your book. For instance, the suffix "zione" corresponds to the suffix "shen" in English, etc. Your book lists some patterns on pagina 19 that you can use as guidelines, but do be aware that these don't hold in 100% of cases. Some of the examples the book lists, repeat after me, are stazione, intelligente, possibile, museo, geloso, professore, inflazione, università, famoso, apparenza, turismo, impressione. The book also gives this list of adjectives that you can use to describe people and things. Go through this list and see if you can identify what the words mean before going to your dictionary. Difficile, eccellente, egoista, elegante, entusiasta, femminista, idealista, impressionabile, indifferente, intellettuale, intelligente, interessante, materialista, naturale, orribile, ottimista, popolare, progressista, realista, responsabile, sentimentale, terribile. You can apply these words to other people using the word è, as in Marco è ottimista. You can apply them to yourself by using sono, as in sono intelligente. Here are some other adjectives your book lists. Aggressivo, aggressiva, famoso, famosa, geloso, gelosa, generoso, generosa, impulsivo, impulsiva, nervoso, nervosa, onesto, onesta, romantico, romantica, serio, seria, sincero, sincera, timido, timida. I mentioned in at least one previous video that Italian is a little different than English in how it refers to and describes males and females. Related to this, the words on this second list end in o if they describe a male, and in a if they describe a female. So you could say, il professor Franchi è onesto, but you would say, Maria è onesta. The reason being that Professor Franchi is a man, and Maria is a woman or girl. This can take some getting used to, but it's not really more complicated than this. In the same way, I could say, sono generosa, whereas if you're a guy, you would say, sono generoso. On the bottom of pagina 19, there's a little warning that's really important related to the topic of cognates. The warning is just that not all words that look like English words mean the same thing. This phenomenon is called false cognates, or in Italian, falsi amici. This can at best cause some difficulty communicating, and at worst can be very embarrassing because there are some false cognates that you really wouldn't want to confuse. The benign examples in the book are parente, which means relative instead of parent, and libreria, which means bookstore instead of library. There are definitely some less benign examples, so do be careful about this. You just want to use cognates as guides to help you understand Italian better, but don't jump to conclusions too quickly about what they might mean. Another very important note on falsi amici is that there is one listed as an actual cognate in your book. The word sensibile is on the first list of adjectives on pagina 20. If you're a normal person, you would probably assume this word means sensible, but it actually means sensitive. Sensibile means sensitive, so keep that in mind and make a note of it in your book. For compiti, work through the esercizi a pagina 20 a 21, and also move on to the piccolo ripasso on pagina 21. The piccolo ripasso covers the whole capitolo preliminare, so you may need to review previous sections of your book and/or previous videos. If you have trouble with any of the exercises, or if you haven't been able to figure out all the words I've covered in this video, you can use a dictionary to help you. The online dictionary I recommend is at dictionary.reverso.net, which also has an iPhone app, and my favorite print dictionaries are Oxford and Collins. So that wraps up the last real section in the Capitolo preliminare. I will be doing a pronunciation video on the parole da ricordare for this chapter pretty soon before moving on to Capitolo 1. As always, I'm available for tutoring in person or over Skype, and my information is on the screen here. As of August 26th, I will be living in Bloomington, Indiana, so obviously that's where the in-person would be. Also, please post questions in the comments and send in those suggestions for other videos or topics to cover, and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on this series. Arrivederci.